welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a different video. I got tagged from Tempest XOXO Designs for a budget community tag. It's basically answering 8 questions. I also got tagged a few months ago, or a few weeks ago actually, and I totally forgot to do it, but here I am, and I'm going to be doing Watch Me Color while I answer these questions, okay? So the first question is, what made you start your cash stuffing journey? Okay guys, this is gonna be a little bit lengthy. I don't have my bubbly, but I do have a drink. So I'm just gonna take a sip and we're gonna get started. Okay, so what made me start my cash stuffing journey? I'm just going to give you a little bit of backstory of me. Some might know my story, some really don't, because I really don't share it unless we talk privately in the DMs on Instagram. But I worked for a company for 12 years, and in October of 2018, I took some time off of work for my nephew's wedding, and I literally was on vacation when this happened. So you can just imagine how traumatic this is. So I was on vacation. I was on my second day, and it was actually the day of his wedding that morning. I get a phone call from my manager, which I kind of found that to be a little bit odd, because I'm like, why is she calling me like on my day off? So I call her back, and then she's like, hey, let me call you right back. I'm in a meeting. I'm like, okay. So in between that time period, I'm text messaging my coworker, like, what is going on? And some people were getting laid off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to get laid off? Whatever. So she calls me back. I'm going to move this over here because I need to rotate this book. So she calls me back. And sure enough, she literally sounded like a robot, just reading off of a manuscript, basically telling me that they are eliminating my position because they're outsourcing to another country. And yeah, so basically I got laid off on October 2018, the day my nephew got married. Talk about devastation. Like, you're on vacation and you get a call to get laid off. But you know what? The type of person I am, I was at the best location for them to break this news down to me. Because if I was at work, I don't even know. They probably would have had to call the paramedics to come get me, because I would have been like such a mess. I was a mess that day anyway, just because it's just so traumatic to go through that. So, okay, so now I got laid off and now I'm without a job. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to get all my insurance stuff in this month before my insurance expired, October 2018. I was kind of late on my girly doctor. I should have gone in March of that year, but I hadn't gone. So I went and made an appointment. And I had seen something on my breast for a while, for like a year and a half prior to this time, and I never said anything. But I figured, you know what, if she's a doctor, so she's examining me, so if she sees something or feels something, like, that's her job. Let me get these here. That's her job, to let me know, like, hey, I don't like the way this looks, let's get you in to get a mammogram or something like that. Okay, so I go to my gynecologist and she's examining me, whatever, and I said to her, hey, I see something here. I don't really know what that is. And then she's like, oh yeah, I don't really like the way that looks. Da-da-da. Okay, so long story short is, now I have to go get a mammogram. The mammogram was done towards like the end of the month. And I go get my mammo. I had never gotten one done before. At this point, I was 30, hold on, I was 39. So I get my mammogram, and they tell me, after getting the mammo and then some sonogram, that I potentially could have cancer, but they don't really know. They just see really suspicious activity, and that they would want to get this checked out to make sure, So at this point, it's beyond devastation. Like, what? Cancer? What? Like, how? Why? Am I going to die? Like, you should just have so many emotions that hit you at once. So, long story short, I end up having to get Cobra. Cobra is really expensive. I don't know if anyone has ever lost a job, but Cobra is super expensive. So I had to basically pay Cobra because I needed to have surgery and go through all that stuff. So my job gave me a severance package. So I had money, it was a nice amount of money. I was there for a long time, so I got a good severance package. But I have bills, I have my own apartment, I have my own car, I have bills. I don't have kids or pet, but still, my bills don't stop because I got cancer, So I was on a really tight budget, and yeah, I went through the whole cancer journey. I had chemo, I had, I can't even speak. So yeah, I had that whole journey with surgery, chemo, radiation. So I basically was unemployed for 14 months. And yeah, I was unemployed. My neighbors just came home. So I don't want them to hear my story. These walls are really thin here, even though they probably heard me. But my AC also just shut off, so you can probably hear me better with the AC off. So yeah, I ended up basically being unemployed for 14 months, and that really opened my eyes and my perspective on money. I've been good with my money, but I've never been disciplined to save. I've always lived literally paycheck to paycheck. I've always struggled if something out of the norm came. I don't know. I just never was one to really have a budget and save money. If I had something going on, I would, set my little things aside and budget, to save for an occasion, or if I was purchasing a flight, that kind of stuff. But I never had what I have now, this cash stuffing journey, this budgeting journey. I never in a million years thought that this was even a thing back then. I mean, we're talking about just a few years ago. It wasn't like 10 years ago. We're talking about 2019. So, yeah. I think they left again. Anyway, so I ended up finding work in January of 2020. That was January 2nd was the first day of my job. And yeah, it was a blessing the way it came at the perfect time. And I had a new perspective on money and budgeting. And what helped me was I started watching these cash stuffing videos. I just became intrigued. I started off, following the Budget Mom. And then from there, I started just following different people. And last year, when we got the first stimulus check for $1,200, and I also got a tax return, that's what I used to start my cash stuffing. My sinking funds, basically. That's why some of my sinking funds are pretty large, is because I started out with a good amount. So, yeah, I didn't want to deal with struggling like I did before. I didn't want to deal with if my car broke down. How am I going to pay for this? I have to borrow from my rent, move money around. I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So I just started doing this cash stuffing. And it was to me the best decision I ever did in my life, to become a cash spender and budget my money the way I do. Because I'm 41 years old and I've never had my budget the way it is right now. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for me and my current situation. All right, so that is what made me start my cash stuffing journey. Question number 2. Have you ever done your nails just to film a cash stuffing? The answer is no. I actually started doing my nails in December, the beginning of December. My friend had went to go get her nails done, and I kind of wanted to get, I wanted to get my nails done, and I got them done. And then one day I was like, hey, let me record my first video. So I did. My first video was recorded like a few weeks after I did my nails. So the answer is no to that. Number 3, have you ever messed up your cash denominations? The answer is no, because I am a numbers girl. I love numbers. I do my paycheck breakdown every 2 weeks, and I have my denominations already preset when I'm doing my breakdown. So when I go to the bank, they give me the correct denominations. So I've never had a situation where they mess up. Okay. What is your favorite envelope to stuff? Man, this is a tough question. If I had to pick one, I know this might sound crazy to some of you, but I would say car maintenance, because I tell you guys, like my car, I remember I have a 2015 right now, so my car is in pretty good condition. I don't really have to worry about any major issues, but I've always dealt with like bad tires, not being able to afford, new tires. So I always had to go buy used tires at these like little crazy shops around the town that I live in, and they would only last so long, because they were used tires, but they cost like $40. It's better than $80-$90 a pop. When you don't have money and you're struggling, that's all you can afford. So the fact that I have a car maintenance and I've had to get new tires for my car, and to know that I don't have to take money from my, bills, has been such a huge relief for me. So I would have to say my car maintenance. What is your least favorite envelope to stuff? I think my least favorite, because I can't really touch it, but is growing, I would have to say my emergency funds. Like that emergency fund, there's a reason why that I have that emergency funds as high as I do, and I don't like stuffing it because I want to use that money, but I can't. I need to save it for a rainy day because you never know. So I would have to say emergency funds. Okay, question number 6. Have you ever picked up side gigs or extra hours to stuff more? The answer is no. I work 37 and a half hours a week. And I don't really work overtime. They really don't allow overtime. I mean, if you work a little over, that's fine. But I don't purposely stay extra just to, get $10 extra in my paycheck, And I don't do any side hustles or side gigs. And I probably wouldn't, only because, let me tell you why. A few years ago, I decided to work a second job. I was working my regular, 8:30 to 5:30 job, and I wanted to pay off my car at that time. I had a different car. I didn't have the car I have now. And I worked from 8, I had to change my hours. So I worked 8:15 to 5:15. I would leave that job. I would have to be at my other job at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, it was like kind of far from where I worked, and then the traffic. So I would have to be there at 6. And then I would work to 11. So I did that like in the beginning, like 3 days of the week. But then it got to be too much. And I used to work Saturdays. And then I started to request too many Saturdays off. So they changed me and they just put me on, I think, Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I did that for 10 months. Okay, guys, and I didn't even utilize that money the way I should have. I didn't put it towards my car like I was going to. I just ended up using it for whatever, and I still was broke. So it was like for nothing. And then come tax season, when I did my taxes, that actually hurt me. Like, you think, oh, you know, you're making more money, da-da-da-da-da. Nope. I ended up not getting as much as I would have if I didn't have that job. So I'm good. I mean, I make enough to support what I have. I mean, I would never say, oh, I would never get a second job. But I don't see me getting a second job just to stuff my envelopes more, you know. If I had to eliminate envelopes before I got a second job, then I would do that. This is coming out pretty good, if I say so myself. Okay, question number 7. We got 2 more to go, guys. So let's see how much longer I can color else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do the behind the yellow. Let's see. Maybe I should do, I can't do like a brown because that's like part of that. Maybe I could do like a purple, this one right here. Let me do it, the flower one. Okay, so number 7, keeps you focused and motivated. Okay, what keeps me focused and motivated is the life that I've dealt with. I've dealt with a lot in my life. I've lost a loved one. I mean, I don't know about everyone, but to experience a loss of someone that you loved, genuinely loved, and was getting to know, that's a different type of loss like no other. Basically, I lost my best friend about 6 years ago. I've been laid off from work. I've had cancer and I've beat it for now. You know, I mean, cancer can metastasize itself. I'm not ignorant to that. I have a really realistic attitude on the situation that I'm in right now, but I am doing my preventative treatments. I get a monthly shot. I take a daily pill, you know, to hopefully keep this cancer away. And I think that right there keeps you motivated and knowing that I'm alive right now and I beat this thing, you know, for now. I beat it. I'm good. And my family, you know, my faith in God, like so much keeps me motivated and focused. So, okay, the last question is, have you ever made a last minute run to buy a candle for a cash stuffing video? The answer is no. I've bought a candle just to have my apartment smelling good because, you know, I don't know if people deal with what I deal with in apartment life. You know, people smoke something that smells and it's not cigarettes, and it stinks up the apartments that you live next to. You have thin walls, they go through the vents, the smell lingers in the hallway, and then it comes through the door frame. So that's why I buy my candles. I mean, this one here is like perfect because it fits in my videos and stuff. But if you look back at my videos, I never really had a candle up until, I would say, past few months. You know, because I'm growing. I'm just trying to see what's aesthetically pleasing to people who are watching my videos, you know. So yeah, but this is all I'm gonna do color because the questions are done. That's it. So yeah, I'm gonna tag someone. Who I'm gonna tag is Be on a Budget. Yes, girl, you need to do this tag. I'm gonna put her information and the questions in the description box. And guys, thank you so much for listening to me and watching me color. I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed to me and who comments. I really, really appreciate it. And, you know, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, just go ahead, click that button. It's not going to cost you anything. It's free. And, yeah, I'm going to have a few new videos coming up after this one. And I hope everyone is doing good. Stay safe. And I will see you on my next one. Take care, guys.